Thank you so much for your introduction. Thank you to all of you for attending this session. So I will make it relevant to both parents and also school operators and teachers. Yeah? So my name is Faizul Musa. I'm from the International Baccalaureate Asia Pacific Office in Singapore. First of all, I would like to thank the Royal British International School, RBIS, Mr. Praj Nawani, for inviting the IB to deliver this presentation. Yeah. So I'll be co-presenting with him, IB and also later RBIS. So RBIS is a candidate school for PYP. So you can learn some of the experience for RBIS in embracing the IB PYP. So as you can see, IB celebrated its 50th anniversary last year in 2018. It was founded in 1968. Yeah, right. Oh. All right. So before we start, just to share with you this quote, a very popular quote by the OECD Education Directorate. A generation ago, teachers could expect that what they taught would last their students' lifetime. Today, because of rapid economics and social change, schools have to prepare students for jobs that have not yet been created, technology that have not yet been invented, and problems that we don't know yet will arise. So this actually is a question to all educators, on how they can going to prepare young people for the 21st century and beyond. Yeah, right. Just to relate, particularly to parents, the challenge, for educators today in making the education relevant for the current century and the future century. Yeah, for example, like our mobile phone is changing very fast, but the education system in most countries, most countries, I would say, still until today, they have not changed. Yeah. And this is a quote by Albert Einstein. Yeah, everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Yeah. So because in the IB later you will find that it's very focused on learners. IB celebrates student skills, attitude, talent. Not only judging the student based on their knowledge or ranking the student. Yeah. Right. So a little bit history about the IB. Yeah. It was founded in 1968. Yeah. And then at that time there was a discussion about moving toward a more progressive education system as compared to the traditional education system. Yeah. So you look at the criteria of the traditional education system, but surprisingly, it's still happening until today in most schools, most countries worldwide. Yeah, but for the IB founders, they have been discussing about moving towards more progressive education system back in 1960s. Yeah. All right. So these are key influential educationalists of the IB. So they are founding fathers of the IB. When they found IB in 1968, they come from different organizations, different nationalities, and then they contribute with different approaches, insights, to make what the IB is. Yeah, the IB education is. Yeah, as you can see. And also, they are also IB, early IB influencers. They are IB founders. Yeah. Again, they also come from different nationalities, different background. They contribute different things to make what IB education is for today. They are famous people. Yeah. So it was founded at the international school. I mean, the first school that implement IB in 1968 was the International School of Geneva. Yeah, one school. Yeah, the International School of Geneva. But now there are more than 5,000 IB schools worldwide. Okay. Right. Yeah, I mentioned about it was founded in 1968. Yeah, and then until today there are more than 5,000 IB schools worldwide. So I attached to the IB office in Singapore. That is for the Asia Pacific. We also have regional office in The Hague, Netherlands, that look after Africa, Europe, and Middle East. We have IB office in Netherlands, in Washington, in Maryland, in Maryland, that look after South and North America. And as you can see, I didn't mention that IB is an exported curriculum. It doesn't belong to any country. It doesn't belong to Swiss. Although that IB registered in Geneva, in Switzerland, but it's not a Swiss curriculum. So there is no headquarter, and it is not an exported curriculum by any country. It's truly international. And it has 4 programs. The first program, it was IB diploma program for high school students. It was founded in 1968. And then IB middle years program was founded in 1994. IB primary years program, what RBIS, Royal British International School, is offering at the moment, was founded in 1997. And IB introduced IB career related program for high school students, equivalent to IB diploma program, in 2012. And current Director General is Dr. Siva Kumari. She's based in The Hague office. And we also have an assessment center in Cardiff, that prepare question papers, collecting back the answer script from students, that center is based in Cardiff, managing the pool of examiners, assessment, all in Cardiff. So there is no parent organization for the IB. It doesn't belong to any university or any NGO or any international organization, no. It belongs to all IB schools. 5,000 IB schools worldwide, they own the IB. The board of directors, the board of governors, 17 of them are rotated, all from IB schools. So it doesn't belong to any country. It's not for profit organization. Okay. So IB was founded in 1968 in Geneva. At that time, it was post many big events such as World War II, many other big events. And it was founded in Geneva, and then the United Nations was there. Students come from different nationalities, live in in Geneva at the time. So the IB founders tried to develop a progressive education that develop inquiring, knowledgeable, and caring young people to create a better, more peaceful world through intercultural understanding and respect, to develop students who are active, compassionate, and lifelong learners. Have a seat. So the IB is not only about preparing students to go into university, but to develop students who are balanced between academic and also, balance with skills, attitude, etc. Student will become a holistic student, well-rounded students, so that they can contribute back to the world, to make world a better place to live and to promote intercultural understanding and respect, through our program and assessment system. Okay. So this slide actually you can see it on IB website, www.ibo.org. So it's just a brief summary on what is IB all about. Basically there are 4 strengths of the IB. Our educational approach that I'll share with you shortly. Our approach to assessment system, that I'll share to you shortly. And then I mentioned to you that schools belong there. I mean, they own the IB. What make IB actually, continuously, progress, expand, etc. All IB educators, teachers, working in IB schools, they actually drive the expansion of the IB. They become IB examiners, they become IB trainers, So we also built the career progression for teachers. Although they're staying in a school, the same school, they work in RBIS, but they also can become a trainer, they can become a workshop leader, a site visitor, reader of the application forms, consultant, etc. So IB provide that career progression for students. And IB alumni, I'll share to you some familiar faces that who are the IB alumni. So this actually make what the IB today. So just sharing to you why IB, for parents and also educators, school operators. Why actually choose IB, yeah, for your school and for your children. So IB provide coherent sequence of education by promoting the education of the world, the whole person, yeah, become a holistic person. So we develop students who are holistic, well-rounded, achievers between academic and also skills, yeah, balanced person, yeah. And student actually we have 4 programs, PYP, but the most familiar one, PYP for middle years. For PYP for 3 to 12 years old, middle years for junior high school student, and then IB diploma for high school student. Yeah. So if you can see later, IB actually requires breadth of the subject. You must do at least 2 languages. Yeah, you must do humanities. You must do mathematics. You must do science. You can opt to do art, for example. So IB requires those. You know, as compared to some other international curriculum, you can choose even 1 subject. You can get certificate, but IB cannot. You must have minimum subject. Yeah, for PYP 6 subject area. For MYP. For MYP year 1 to 3, for example, you must do 8 subjects, and then you can reduce to 6 when you reach MYP year 4 and 5. And then for IB diploma, you must do at least 6 subjects. Yeah, cannot do less than that. Yeah, broad range of subject. Yeah, and then IB promote international mindedness. That's why there are many public schools, yeah, worldwide, yeah, for example, in Malaysia, in Japan, in the US, Canada, Spain, Germany, they offer IB program, public school, government school, yeah, because they want to promote international mindedness. They use national curriculum as the base, but they blend it with IB, PYP, and MYP framework to teaching and learning, to ensure that the program will become enriched and then promote international mindedness to the student. And then special emphasis to language acquisition. So mother tongue is a requirement. Yeah, mother tongue's learning of mother tongue, PYP, MYP, IB diploma. You must learn 2 languages, including your mother tongue. We talk about promoting intercultural understanding and respect. You must learn your own culture first. You know, then you also learn other people's language and culture. And then learning across discipline, focus on developing the skill of learning. Yeah, in IB, I mentioned to you about developing students who are lifelong learners. So we actually teach the student how to become a learners. Yeah, how to learn how to learn. So they will, become a lifelong learners. For example, in some school they only do PYP program. They don't do MYP. They might do different curriculum. But we have prepared them at the very foundation level. We have prepared them to become learners. Some school they only offer IB diploma. It's fine. When they go to university later, they will become learners. And they don't stop at the university. When they finish, undergraduate program, they might do postgraduate program. In fact, our research, post IB diploma program student, they will do master's degree, PhD, because we have prepared them to become learners. How to learn, how to discipline, how to manage your time, how to do presentation, how to do, to equip them with interpersonal skills, how to do research, yeah, everything. So they become successful learners in life, yeah. And then study of individual subject and also transdisciplinary area. So they don't do IB student. They will look at transdisciplinary or interdisciplinary area. So they're making connection between subject to subject. Math and science and language. What is the relation between music and language and math? Music and math. What is the relation? Yeah. So IB student, they are doing that. They don't look at subject as an isolated subject. Yeah, math is math, different science, different classroom. They don't relate it. Yeah, but IB student will do that. Yeah. And then opportunities for individual collaborative planning and research. This particularly for teachers. Yeah. Every week they must do planning. They must work collaboratively among each other. Yeah. And research. Just now I mentioned about research. Research, because IB students, they are inquirers. Yeah, they are trained to become inquirer. Even PYP, small grade 1, 2, 3, they through the IB PYP, they will become inquirers. They will ask a lot of questions. So many of the students, they even question teachers whether you are teaching, what you're teaching, the content-wise, correct or not. They will challenge the teachers like that. You can go, to RBIS and see. And then most of the program, PYP, MYP, and IB Diploma, and even IB Career-related program, you must do community service. Yeah, you must apply back the knowledge that you have gained. You have to contribute back to the society. That's why, for example, RBIS is doing. They offer, a free clinic to the society, to the people, to the society. They must do community service. So that actually describes what the IB education is all about. But there are many more characteristics of IB program. PYP, MYP, and IB Diploma. Yeah, the yellow color represent PYP, red MYP. This turquoise represent IB Diploma, and then purple represent IB Career-related program. Yeah, so there are similarities. All IB program, PYP, MYP, IB Diploma. So if you're a school operator, if you want to implement one of the program, it's okay, fine. Or if you want to implement 2 program, 3 program, 4 program, it's up to you. And as a parent, if you want your child to start with PYP or MYP, IB Diploma, it's okay. But because they will be equipped with this, not only just to memorize textbook, knowledge from textbook, and then that's gone. But they will be equipped with this. You just imagine, they will be equipped with this, and then that's how actually makes them lifelong learners, and teachers too, will be, So in terms of knowledge retention, because IB, one of the things apart from the inquiry-based learning, one of the concepts that IB champion is the conceptual, understanding. That means IB, the way we teach actually more on conceptual instead of fact-based. So in terms of the teachers, knowledge retention is higher. So instead of memorizing a fact, but we go beyond than that, How it is related to becoming inquirers. What does it mean, learning this mathematics with knowledgeable music, thinker, something. So they really know, they really embrace it. They really make this IB learner profile as part of their learning, teaching and learning, and for teachers too. So they know. So with this 10 learner profile, although PYP or MYP, IB Diploma, they will be equipped with this 10 learner profile. And with this 10 learner profile, IB, one of our, basically our aim, our goal, our mission, basically is to promote or develop a better world through education and to promote peaceful world. So we hope every human being that gone through an IB education system, they will be able to have this 10 learner profile and to contribute back to to make world a better place to live. So there are many research by third party, not only the IB, but mostly by third party, universities, statistical agency, research organization, they do research about IB program, and you can find that on IB website, you can find the outcome, program impact, program impact on IB programs. You go through the program, PYP, MYP, DP, I don't need to read it, You can find it on IB website. But I can share with you some. This is the research in the UK comparing between IB Diploma and A-level. In terms of the skills and attributes. 21st century skills that IB students showcase as compared to IB Diploma. Students. The only thing that IB loses actually is the depth. I thought there's a jet. Okay, it's okay. Don't sleep. Okay, so the only thing that the knowledge depth, the fact. But facts are changing. But these skills are very, very important. And IB students demonstrate a lot of skills, better skills than others when A-level student. So, okay, this is what universities say. IB student, Cambridge University say, if let's say we have A-level student and IB Diploma student, we don't know which one that we want to pick up, I mean, both actually demonstrate very strong academic performance, they will choose IB student. That's what Cambridge University say. Don't forget, Cambridge University own A-level, IGCSE, yeah? So these are some research, yeah, about IB program. This is in the UK, comparing IB and A-level post-secondary outcome, yeah? And then this is the research in the US, yeah? And this one in Australia and New Zealand. So basically you can find this research report, detailed report, and also summary on the IB website. It will be useful for parents, it will be useful for schools in making decision whether you should or not to embrace IB program, or whether parent you need to send to IB, your children to IB school or not. Yeah, it will help you, yeah? Many research, yeah? So these are some popular alumni of IB diploma, yeah? You were surprised, huh? He graduated from United World College. Yeah. King of Netherlands. Yeah. 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 So these are some of popular alumni of IB diploma. Yeah. Many more. You can go to Wikipedia and find. Yeah. So as of 12th June, recently, so we started with one IB school, International School of Geneva, back in 1968, and now there are 5,088 schools worldwide, yeah, that offer IB program. Most top international schools worldwide, they will do IB program, yeah, but not limited to top international school. There are many public schools. Later I can show you statistics. Public school that offer IB program now more than private and international school, and in 150 countries, 56 countries. So as a parent, just imagine your children, you know, gone through IB education, they go to university, and then they can say to others, okay, I gone through IB education, you know, and then they can show their certificate, etc., you know. And you can see how popular IB in America, yeah, almost 3,000 schools in America, in North and South America that offer IB program. In Ecuador, do you know where Ecuador is? You're from America, you know. Huh? So Ecuador, the government make it mandatory for public school to offer IB diploma program. Yeah, make it mandatory. In Japan, 200 public schools have been assigned by Ministry of Technology and Science, yeah, to do IB diploma program. Yeah. In Australia, the only international curriculum provider allowed to operate is IB, International Baccalaureate. Yeah. Okay, I mentioned to you, yeah, we started with this, I mean, 1971, the first graduate. 2018, there are more than 1 million IB students worldwide. Last year, for IB diploma, almost 200,000 candidates, yeah, worldwide, in 5,088 IB schools. This number doesn't include the candidate schools, yeah. And there are more state schools now offering IB, yeah, government school offering IB, yeah. We are, you know, for example, like the first school that offered IB diploma in 1968 was the International School of Geneva, very elite school, yeah, very elite school. But the first school that offered PYP, yeah, in 1997 was, you know, a state school in Canada, yeah, Orang Asli school. Yeah, in Canada. So we have 4 programs I mentioned to you, yeah, PYP, MYP, IB diploma, and IB career-related program. So what govern, yeah, the IB school in terms of standard, yeah? Because we want to ensure that IB school follow the IB program standard and practices, yeah, is this document, yeah, program standard and practices. School, they must go through very detailed, a very long candidacy process, application process in order to become an IB school. Yeah. So it's not like, okay, I pay you money, IB, okay, I want to become an IB school. It's not like that. You know, you must have the patience. It's like selling the soul to the IB. you know, everything must IB. Yeah, you must go through a very detailed application process, candidacy process. Teachers must be trained by the IB, and then school must go through verification visit process, and then every 5 years they will be evaluated. If IB does not satisfy, IB doesn't care, you know, the school can be terminated as an IB school. Yeah, they must follow that process. Yeah, so IB program standard and practices. So parents, you don't need to worry. Yeah. All right. Some information about the IB diploma program. Yeah. Yeah. You can. Meanwhile, I'm explaining. You can look at the history of IB diploma. So anyway, there are 6 subjects that the student must do: language acquisition, language literature, humanities, mathematics, arts, science, and they also must do theory of knowledge, where they need to. It's an interdisciplinary skills course. They need to do community service. They need to write 4,000 word essay. They must select the essay topic based on their interest. Yeah, let's say, because I mentioned to you that IB celebrates student skills, interest, talent. So maybe your interest is music, your interest is mathematics, your interest is science, your interest is language. So that extended essay will provide you the opportunity to make very depth research about your subject of interest, a topic of interest. So you can make research and you can make an essay. It's like a university level thesis. Yeah. So that's why IB students, when they go to university, it's like, very easy to them. Lecturer asks them to do assignment, they do it like champion. Very easy, because they have learned all the necessary skills, how to manage the time, how to make research, how to, present, do the presentation, etc. They have learned it in the high school level. That's why they score first year. Don't talk about the credit exemption. University will give them credit exemption for the subject they have taken in IB diploma. But also, if let's say they don't manage credit exemption, some university, they're very particular. They want students to complete, within 4 years, 3 years, they don't give. But this IB student take it very easy. Very easy. As compared to A-level student, they don't need to do extended essay. They don't need to do research. They don't know how to do referencing. How to do citation, etc. They don't know how to do it. But IB diploma student, they have gone through that process. Yeah? And they have gone through community service. This IB diploma, you have to take 2 years. Yeah? No discount. You cannot make it 1.5 year, 1 year, cannot. Like other program. Yeah? Cannot. 6 months, cannot. Student must go through 2 years. And if you ask IB diploma student how easy to do IB diploma, they will say no to you because it's very difficult. But IB actually provide a platform to them to challenge themselves, at a high school level. If they say IB diploma is difficult for them, as a parent, you should push them. I mean, in a way, life is not easy. What do you expect when you go to university or work? You expect it to be easy? It's not, right? So through IB diploma, they will manage themselves. I mean, it's a self-management to them. It's a self-learning to them, how to manage everything. Skills, time, writing, language, many things. Yeah, they will gain through that. So that is IB diploma. It's a darling qualification by university. University love IB diploma student. I've spoken to many universities. Yeah, they love IB diploma student. You can go, for example, we have very good relationship here to some universities. Some of them, for example, like Ateneo de Manila University. You can speak to them. How did they welcome IB diploma student? Yeah, they want. Okay, IB middle years program. This is for junior high school students. It's equivalent to IGCSE in O level. Yeah, it's equivalent to IGCSE in O level. So students, they need to do 8 subjects, but when they reach MYP year 4, they can reduce to 6 subjects. Yeah. So MYP and PYP later, primary years program. Yeah, this is PYP, this is MYP. Both are framework to teaching and learning. It can be blended, with national curriculum, for example. Yeah, it can be blended. It can be delivered even in Burmese. PYP and MYP. Yeah, it can deliver. But IB diploma cannot. It's a off-the-shelf curriculum where you need to teach as it is. But for PYP and MYP, both are framework to teaching and learning. Yeah, PMYP is a continuation to IBPYP. Yeah, PYP is a transdisciplinary and MYP is interdisciplinary. Yeah, MYP also provide final year exam in MYP year 5 where students they can get MYP certificate, so they can apply study to do foundation program or matriculation program, etc. So the recognition, we have worldwide recognition for MYP too. All right, so IBPYP was introduced in 1997. So this is what RBIS currently going through the candidacy process, yeah, to become an IBPYP school. But for PYP and MYP, when you go through the candidacy, you can do the trial implementation. IB diploma, like her school, she is also a candidate school for IB diploma in Mandalay. They have to wait until the school authorized, yeah. Then only they can start teaching the program. But PYP and MYP, you can deliver it when you have been granted with the candidacy stage. Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, PYP is a transdisciplinary. Yeah, is the thematic concept. Yeah, so there are 8 subject areas: science, language, social studies, mathematics, art, physical education, and these are the transdisciplinary themes. You can see. Yeah. We're going to discuss PYP shortly in details. Yeah, I just quote one program. So CP is for high school level, equivalent to IB diploma, but it's still new. It focuses on career. So music, yeah, IT. You can choose which one. Engineering, medical technologies, etc. So this is CP. So we're going to look at PYP, yeah, because Royal British International School is offering PYP and they has kindly invited me to deliver this presentation. So we look at one program, PYP, but in case you are interested to other program, later you can come and approach me. Yeah. So those are the subject area, those are the transdisciplinary team. But what I'm showing in this slide basically how IB define a curriculum. Yeah. For most educators in school, yeah, traditional that delivering traditional program, they define curriculum something like syllabus lah. Yeah. Parents also know that. Yeah? What is the curriculum? You look at these textbooks. Yeah. But IB, we divide curriculum to become broader. Yeah. 3 items that actually define curriculum in IB: written curriculum, taught curriculum, assessed curriculum. So there are many. So knowledge is just one part. I mentioned to you that the content can come from national curriculum. It can even be delivered in Burmese for PYP. Use national curriculum and blend with this subject must be delivered, and it can be blended through the IB thematic, the transdisciplinary team. Sorry, yeah. So this is what actually IB defined as its curriculum. Yeah, I'm not going to go through detailed explanation. So in PYP they will learn a lot of things. Not only academic, not only knowledge. They don't just memorize from chapter. They deliver the curriculum not from chapter 1 A B C D E something like that. Not like that. Yeah, there are many things that they learn in PYP. Yeah. So IBPYP promote inquiry-based learning. Yeah, they use inquiry-based learning. What is inquiry-based learning? Basically, is exploring, wondering, and questioning. Making connection between previous and current learning. Yeah. Why inquiry learning today? Because knowledge are changing, facts are changing. Yeah, facts are changing. Yeah. So student, they will act on it. They mean they not only memorize the fact, but they will do action. Yeah, to reflect. Act and reflect and then choose. Yeah. So this is some photos. Yeah, from RBIS that I took. Yeah. So not only students, they don't sit like classroom setup like this. Yeah, because it doesn't promote engagement, interaction between students. In IB, for parents' information, for each program, PYP, MYP, DP, teachers, they act like facilitator. Yeah, they don't like teach on the whiteboard and a student they do other things, But in PYP, students they actively engage in the teaching and learning. Yeah, they are responsible too. They have to do exploration. They have to, they do many things. Yeah, in PYP that makes actually the learning process more fun, for them, and they can retain the knowledge, because they are doing it, they're exploring. You learn it by doing it. You don't just learn it by listening like this. I'm sure that you will be sleeping after 2 hours I speak to you. So they are active, very active learners. Very active learners. And then in the program, we develop skills. Thinking skills, social skills, self-management skill, research skill, communication skill. Just imagine, kindergarten student, because IB PYP from 3 years old to 12 years old, from kindergarten, we promote. We teach them all these skills, and also attitudes, how we want students to act, And in terms of assessment, there are summative and formative assessment as usual, but some form of reporting assessment. There are many assessments, but I just want to highlight this PYP exhibition. This is for final year student. Final year student, they don't do written examination. They do PYP exhibition. Same like the concept of extended essay just now. They do a project based on their interest. Same PYP exhibition student in the final year. They work in a project based on their interests, IT, music, mathematics, science, language, They make a project, and then at the end of the academic year, they will do the presentation. For example, like, this the student do project and gaming, communication. School will be able to invite your stakeholders, your parents, and also people from the ministry, media, etc., to come and listen to students' presentation. They do presentation about their project. And they demonstrate the skills that they have. Okay. Right. So, for school operators and maybe for information of the parents, these are the process to become an IB World School. For authorized school, we call it IB World School. For candidate school, for the time being, they will be called as candidate school for PYP or MYP or IB diploma. So they must submit the request for candidacy. They must go through the consultation process for at least 1 year. At least 1 year. And then they submit the request for authorization. And within the consultancy, the teachers must be trained. IB will assign a consultant to work with the school coordinator and principal for during the candidacy year, 1 or 2 years candidacy. And then they have to go through the verification visit process. And IB will decide on the authorization. And I mentioned to you that every 5 years, the school will be evaluated again. So if you want to learn more about it, please visit our website, www.ibo.org, or you can write to me, faizul.musa@ibo.org. You can write to me. So these are the reason why school choose IB. You can learn more from RBIS later. And then now I would like to invite Mr. Prash Nanwani from RBIS to share about his experience in embracing the IB. Okay, Prash.
So I'll just show you all a video on RBIS, a very short video on what we do, and then I'll speak to you a little bit about the school after that. and that this is our first academic year of operations, and that we have just completed it today. We just had PTC this morning in our school, and the children did very well for the Cambridge as well as the IB end of year checkpoint exams. So I believe that leadership is always about initiating change and coping with change, and that we are moving in a very fast changing environment in the 21st century. And that's why RBIS is the first school in Myanmar that is currently a candidate school for the IBPYP program. Talking more on the IBPYP, RBIS holds 3 curriculums in our campus. We hold the Cambridge International Examination Body for the Cambridge International Primary Program, as well as the IGCSE and A-Levels program. We also carry the Pearson EdXL program, which is available in Dulwich and British International School in Yangon, Myanmar. Apart from those 2 prestigious curriculum, we also have the International Baccalaureate Primary Years program, and then moving forward to the DP program as well. Now, everyone speaks about 21st century education and how good 21st century education is, but when we started RBIS, things like that were just words. 21st century was, oh, we need to be this, children need to be this, risk takers, creativities, having skills that are such that they need to have leadership skills, and things like that are not easily developed. They are just spoken very easily of, oh, we are 21st century development, we are 21st century school. And this was one of the challenges that when we opened in Myanmar to develop things like this. So these were the list of skills that all 21st century curriculums are very interested in us developing. They want students to be good in academics. They want students to be resilient, take ownership for their mistakes. They want students to be great communicators, being thoughtful, being respectful, being adaptable, putting them in any other environment and they'll be able to adapt. We want students to be international mindedness, having links with other countries, have moral upbringings and right cultures from their family. We look at cooperation, we look at inquirers. And things like this are very difficult for a student to walk into a school and, we need all of this done. So we looked at the future, and this was where we started. We looked at tomorrow. When we were bringing the ethos of RBIS into Myanmar, we looked at what happens next. And we looked at things like the competition between the computer and the book. Students are confused now. Do I need a textbook or can I just bring my iPad to school? With technology advancing so much that a lot of things then become redundant. Same with the world today. Who knew that Grab would own the most amount of cars around the world? Nobody knew that. It was always rental companies and big industries. Who knew that Alibaba would have the biggest warehouse and they don't own any goods? Nobody knew what happened this 10 years forward. And so the children's future of tomorrow, we ourselves are uncertain. We don't know what's the top paying jobs that's going to take place within the next year. We have no clue about that. And looking at things like medicine, today a graphic designer earns more than a doctor. So something around this world is changing. And this is where RBIS comes in. We try to bridge the gap between tomorrow and today. We try to create that using the IB framework, using the 21st century curriculum, except that we take it one step forward, which means that now we are in the state of candidacy. And again, to go through this process with the IB is not easy. It costs a lot of money and it's not easy to get there because you have site visit, teachers have to go through category training, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. They're not easily giving licenses to schools and saying, okay, you're this school now, you're that school. They put you in such a process that they really vet your school. They come in and they look and they see that everything is going on right before they tell you that you're an IB school. It can take 2 years, it can take 2.5 years. And we take that gap into RBIS in order to push it forward, looking at the skills that we need to develop. So I don't know if you all heard this phrase before, but email is for old people. We don't need to send emails anymore, right? Use WhatsApp, Viber. But just 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, email was the in thing. Again, something changed. And very quickly. Now, when somebody says, oh, we'll send you an email, oops, it's already for old people. Right? Now we send proposals on WhatsApp and Viber. So we need to bridge all these gaps. Another thing is excessive competition. First we had Uber in Myanmar. Grab bought over Uber. Now there's Grab. Now there's Oway. Now there's something else, Gojek. Like nobody is free to do any business. I open RBIS. Oh, tomorrow new school open. One more school open. Wow. The competition is excessive. True, right? You want to make money now is difficult. You want to do a business now is difficult. Over pollution, something very common in all Southeast Asia. Pollution is a problem. Excessive competition on lifestyle. The moment the new iPhone comes out, everybody wants to buy it. Anything new, people are after it straight away. We have the difference between the rich and the poor. We have global warming issues, culture change, excessive lifestyle, and jobs that have not been invented yet. This is the future. And it's the immediate future. It's no more a future that, oh wow, okay, this is going to happen in 2050. This is already happening. This situation is happening right now, and the only way that we can start them is when they are in school. Not just the aspects of the books, English, math, science, but the aspect of a whole individual. Developing skills and developing understandings to cope with problems that will happen in the future is what RBIS is about. We are not a school that when you come in is so rigid, like the video you saw. There's so much of activities that go on, and there's so much of projects that go on, because today's world, your business is a project. Oh, I've got this to do, I've got that to do. Everything has become a project. And this is how the IB helps us with that aspect. The PYP exhibition is a project that the students develop and they narrate in order for them to move forward. And students who are not good academically, unfortunately, when we were young, we had no choice. English, math, science, okay, what's your score? Now with the IB, you have a different portfolio of assessing a child, which means not everybody is stupid, right? We have that thinking criteria in our head that, oh, if you don't do well for Cambridge exams, you cannot go to university. The biggest dropout from Harvard University owns Facebook. How did that happen? You know, so the IB helps portray that aspect of a child. So you get the smart ones that do well academically and the IB, but you get the so-called creative students that do very well with the IB, and they don't really bother so much about the CIPP. So this is the concept of learners that we have today, and the concept of having choices rather than one way, having different options rather than just one option. So these are the personal qualities that I manage to develop in RBIS throughout the coming course. But what's very important for us is this, being happy. When children come to school happy, they want to learn. They are excited. They wake up in the morning, and even if they are sick, they'll say, Mommy, I want to come to school. And this is one of the things that we feel that's very, very strong in our ethos of RBIS. Another thing that we find very important is raising awareness for international tasks. This was sort of a problem that we found in Myanmar, that people do not want to go out of the country. They want to stay here. So we try to raise international tasks for students to learn about other countries. What's happening outside? You know, and this is where the IB helps you as well, when you raise awareness for things like this. So the goals of RBIS, again, I keep mentioning this, is to develop this in students. And these are goals. I can't sit here and stand here and tell you all my students are great communicators. Impossible. There are some that are great, there are some that just can't communicate. They will just look at you and, Mr. Prash, So you go through that situation when you're dealing with students. But the goals of RBIS are significantly light with the IB program. And that's why, you know, having RBIS in Myanmar, we were the first to get the candidacy for IBPYP. We invited Mr. Faisal down for the site inspection, and he told us you can proceed with it. And we've just got our candidacy this year in the month of March. And I'm very, very thankful when the exams have come out and how well the students did during the PYP exhibition. It was really, really fantastic, bringing in the ethos of the IB. So like I mentioned, this allows the IB to help us. It increases diverse cultures and solutions to world issues. Another thing is the availability of jobs. Now, we always plan where to work for after that. If you have spent $300,000 in your education, you're not going to go to a local Myanmar company and make 3 lakhs. There's no cost back. You're not paying back your education, right? If you spend so much money and you get a job that doesn't pay you that amount of money than what you spend, it's a waste of time. So we looked at where the jobs are going to be. We just did a research and we look at it in the sense of 85% of the jobs are going to be in the Pacific Rim. We have Spanish in RBIS, we have Mandarin in RBIS, and we're going to have German now as well. And the reason why that is because IB always forces us to have a second language. So you see their program model over here. Language is right on top. They always push for a mother tongue. You need to do something in the terms of languages. And it helps students a lot. So looking at the future and looking at 85% of the jobs going to be at the Pacific Rim, it means people need to walk out. They need to start getting ready to go somewhere else and, start something, So these are the kind of children we develop, international-minded children. Children who can tell you why they're celebrating festivals in other countries. We need them to be open-minded and adaptable. Put them in any circumstances and that's it. They're fine. You're not going to be worried about them. Today, RBIS children are running the food. If you all have gone to eat, they're running the food outlet out there. And if you speak to them or talk to them, they will try to sell you the food. They will find some way or somehow to convince you. And this is the structure of learning presentation. First you conserve, you communicate, and then you convince. So there are learning structures like this, which are not taught in a local education system. But it creates international-minded and open-minded students. They have respect for ideas and opinions of others, which is very important. People love to hear what people have to say. If I'm the one talking and I don't ask or hear from you, you're going to think I'm rude. Oh, who's this arrogant guy here? He doesn't hear my point of view, just his. So this is how we develop students in that aspect. And of course, they need to take an interest in global issues. Ask them what's happening with North Korea. They'll be able to talk to you about it. So these are things that are important, current affairs. Being updated with them. So 21st century ideas, just to sum up on all these big words that we were using. The way to adapt 21st century basically is to be flexible. As much as possible, you got to be flexible with the curriculum. You cannot just accept an answer if it's on the worksheet. If the child gives you the right answer, the child is right. This is the bridge in 21st century education. It's not a rigid way anymore. Resources are always available. Today you ask a child a question and you can't answer. They go to Google, their best friend, right? Take out their phone, Google, what is this? And Google gives them the answer. Good help is important to an effective brain. Excessive water. We promote hydration as much as possible before they go to the canteen. When they finish their food, drink as much water. Hydration lets the brain work faster. Relaxed alertness is the best state for learning. We allow the children to see the big picture, which means we tell them the objective of their learning. When they enter a particular unit, they see what they're actually going to learn, and we take advantage of what they already know. Learning is improved when children know what is expected. Basically, we tell them what we expect from them, and that's the best way that they're going to give you what you expect. Rather than telling them, do this and do that, and then we'll see how you do. We bring the learning towards them. Address children's different learning style. This is still a challenge in RBIS. It is not easy to adjust to everyone's learning portfolio. It's impossible, even with 15 students in a class. But slowly but surely, adaptability comes in, which means children then get adapted. So rather than creating your own portfolio, we adapt them into making their own portfolio. So this kind of helps them out when we develop 21st century education. And of course, 21st century, it's a very, very common thing. Time needs to be created for slow thinking, which means exams on 21st century education doesn't need to be timed. That means 45 minutes is your maths paper, you have to finish it in 45 minutes. That is not 21st century education. When the child is allowed to think slowly, they kind of develop more ideas. They develop more creative thoughts. They develop creativity in the process when they're analyzing a question. So this is where 21st century comes in, into RBIS, in that aspect of slow thinking. So on the aspect of the transdisciplinary process that Mr. Faisal spoke about, I believe it a little bit more different, and I've taken the step even more further in the IB. Instead of sending RBIS students just to go out and help, I wanted them to take ownership of their projects. And the reason why we have done it is because we want the students to get scholarships in top university. Now, if you all were directors and professors of top university and an application comes to you by a student from RBIS that says, I have opened a charity clinic, or I work for a charity clinic, who will you likely give the scholarship to? The one who opened or the one who worked? Human nature, the one who opened. This is how we do it in RBIS. Even if they go out and they work in companies, we want them to be number one. We want them to try to reach the top. So instead of going out and saying, oh, I'm going to help this company or this NGO or this, we want them to do it within ourselves. And this was the formation of the RBIS clinic. The idea came out in the month of February end, and by April 27, we had the grand opening of the charity clinic. And we had few celebrities from Myanmar. And on that day itself, every single dollar that RBIS spent on the clinic was returned back. Singapore Embassy got to know about it, and Singapore donated thermometers and donated medicines. We had boxes of medicines that were coming into the clinic. And the students got a chance to see real life people with real life problems that they have coming to the clinic. Their emotion then develops. They develop humanity. Now, 21st century talks about morals, right? How do I develop morals? I can't say I'm a 21st century school and my children don't have the attributes of having the right morals. So we create projects that are in there for them to see. Another project that we have, which is kicking off in the month of July, is the Mission Educate program at RBIS. And Mission Educate lets our children go out every Saturday to teach orphanages English. This Mission Educate also takes out the street kids from begging to come to RBIS Wood Workshop and learn how to do business. Learn how to start selling stuff. Because the best way for us to give back is to give back to the community. So RBIS takes step in that retrospect. I'm from Singapore originally. I've been working around the world in so many different countries. I've not given back to my own country. Today, because I'm the managing director of Royal British International School, and I've not given back for 10 years, this is the best platform for me to give back. The people who really need it. And the community in Myanmar needs it because the culture needs to change. And it is changing very, very quickly. So this is how RBIS has come into Myanmar, and we are always open to share the learning. Bringing Mr. Faisal here today to talk about the IB is for everybody. You know, I hope more schools in Myanmar get the IB curriculum, not just RBIS. You know, it's more healthier to have not just a monopoly, but you know, everybody is doing IB, so everybody can help each other. We work very closely with our parents as well in RBIS. We've got very good parent support with each other. We have parent evenings, we have heads of PTAs and things like that, so that parents have a voice in RBIS too. They have a say, and this allows them more to be part of a school community where they watch their child grow. We've got applications like Facebook called Class Dojo, where you're updated every single day of what your child is doing in school. And it gives you the sense of assurance that you know you're in the right track. And as the school grows, we continue to learn. Their teachers' roles are facilitators. Everybody sits and learns together. So apart from this, I'd like to thank you very much. And of course, thank you, Mr. Faisal, for coming down. And that basically sums up what RBIS does. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.